Tapu again, welcome, beloved. I would just like to talk a bit about the article that I posted on my website called Breathe. This is probably going to be in a few different parts because I just feel a bit tired, to be honest, right now. But I know that there are some thoughts on my mind that I'd like to share about Breathe. Where do I start? I'd like to start with Queen of Ayanna Van Zant's book, Tapping the Power Within, which is where I personally first learned about meditation and breathing, basically, which to me the fundamentals of meditation is breathing and just focusing on inside and where the breathing happens. And I just want to share my insights because I was 17 when I realised how important breath is. And I saw how powerful breath is. So like I'll tell you like a bit about my experiences with breath. Like breath really does change the situation. For example, you could be really stressed out, right, and sit in the middle of an exam, which I was when I first started using this technique, and just like you feel like you don't know enough, you haven't revised enough, you're not enough, you feel overwhelmed with stress. It doesn't have to be an exam situation, but that's the situation that I was utilising breath in. And the moment you just stop and you just breathe, deep grounding and cleansing breaths. And how you do that is really simple. You just bring that breath in. You know you've done it properly because like I've just done it just now and my whole body warms up. It doesn't matter how cold it is, and it's cold right now. And you just warm up with that breath. That's that life. And there are some other techniques, but just to start you off, I'm not going to go deep with all that. That'll probably be in part 2. But yeah, you just breathe right down to your stomach. You really take that breath in, and you prepare your body to take it in. It's a natural thing when you prepare your body to take it in, and your shoulders just drop, like you just let go. As you take the breath in, you're letting go. You're letting the breath. Really, you're letting your body take in the whole breath. You just, I don't know, I hope I'm making sense to somebody out there. But yeah, and the answers, and then you realise you do know it. You know what the question is asking you. You know the answers. Just write the answer down and calm yourself. So that's what the breath did for me in that situation, for instance. As a woman, anybody who's had children out there will know you need to breathe in that moment of stress called childbirth, or you're out of the game and you're going down to the surgery theatre to get cut open. You need to control that stress that is happening to your body that you cannot run away from. So breath is really important in that instance. That's a brilliant demonstration actually of breath and how powerful it is. I'd say as well that times when I might have had a lot of stress, for instance, I can't think of any other instances where I've had a lot of stress, but I know that breathing, which is what this video is really about then, I think the power of breath has really took me to new heights in myself. Sometimes I don't even remember the former me, but I know that it's transformative. When you really tap into breathing on a regular basis, like you you get into the habit of every day, beginning the day with some quiet time and just sitting in a quiet space, maybe with some essential oils burning or a joystick or burning or even some essential oils, a few drops on your clothes, and you just sit there quietly doing nothing but breathing. And what you do when you do that, you're setting up the day that you're going to breathe no matter what stress comes your way, like a bus driver trying to piss you off because he's pissed off. And it opens you up to understanding where people are coming from and why they might be behaving like that. And you're not giving them excuses neither. It's just because you're so in tune with the breath, which we're all connected by, that you're just balanced, you're just stabilized by the breath. So it's a good way to set up your day. And it does, I mean, you do lose it sometimes, I'm not going to lie, but the more you practice, the more you just float through those situations that are stress factors now to you, because you've realised that would stress any other person out, that would even stress out you normally, but it's not stressing you now. And the thing that's changed, more than likely, if not one thing, or the thing that's changed is your breath, maybe something else, but your breath is definitely one of the things that's changed about you. So I like also to pray at that time as well, but setting up the breath is really key. A deeper thing I'd like to say about the breath, as well as the power, I definitely know my intuition, it opens up when I breathe. I just seem to know things when I'm breathing. It can be scary sometimes as well. I just know, and I will speak it, and then it will come to pass. Or sometimes I will just know, and I won't say. And then somewhere along the line, I will come and find out that thing that I knew, even though I had no evidence of it, it's true. For instance, for a while, I've been like, I have my crystals. I'll show you them. Maybe not in this video, but at some point I will show you my crystals. At some point I just decided, oh well, okay, they tell you that you can use these crystals for that, and they tell you that you can use these crystals for this, but I don't want to use it for that. I feel like I need to use this crystal in this way, for this, to bring out this aspect of myself, or to balance this part of myself. And I just did it. I just knew that that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I was going to do. And then I read somewhere that you can do that because it's the intention. It's not the it's not rigid. Crystals are not rigid. Now I'm not trying to divert away from what I'm saying. The key thing what I'm saying here is breath lets you know. It brings out, should I say, an inner knowing. It's not anymore like you're looking out there for someone to tell you. The knowing comes from inside when you're breathing, and you're breathing properly, consistently, so that it becomes second nature. So that, like I've told you earlier on, like about sitting there and regularly sitting there quietly at some point in your day, probably for me in the morning, and doing that on a consistent basis. But what you'll find is after a certain amount of time, you just do it automatically. It becomes a habit. It becomes who you are. It's second nature to you to just find a space and to sit quietly and breathe. For me, I can't cope without that. And another thing that I see as tied to that, because sometimes I think we get fed up of routine, is yoga, because sometimes I do get fed up of sitting there in one space, especially when it gets colder, these cold mornings. So I will find myself just want to move. So, but if I do some stretches now, I'm breathing, and the kids are asleep, and it's just a variation. Sorry, I'm really rambling right now. I think I better go to sleep. I hope it gave you some food for thought. If you're interested in finding out anything more about what I said, if you've got any questions, please post them in the comments box below. If you're interested in the article that I've written called Breathe, then I'm going to post my website link in the bottom, in the description box. And if you just want to connect with me, you like my vibe, or you want to even share like some things about breathing that you know, because I know I don't know everything, I'm still learning, and I'm really just fascinated about how much we don't know about life, especially how much we don't know about ourselves. That's, for me at the moment, something that's really fascinating me, how much I don't know about me. You know, I think we need to really tap into that right now. Is important. How powerful are we? What I already know about how powerful I am amazes me, but I know that that might just even be the tip of the iceberg. Anyway, I'm really rambling. This is nothing to do with breathing, so I'm going to bed now. Good night. Peace.